Welcome to the FAQ video about the grid qualifying and the promotion-relegation system. To drive in a grid with drivers of similar speed, we have to organize you and the other signed up drivers in different grids. For this purpose, there will be a grid qualifying in advance of the championship. Similar to the tracker qualifying, you have to get a good lap time on a certain combo. Usually this combo also is the combo of the first event, so it's also a free practice. But in contrast to the tracker qualifying, you only got 10 tries. One try counts from the moment you cross the first split of the lap on a timed lap. This means out laps and timed laps you cancel before the first split won't lower the amount of your tries. To count the 10 tries correctly, you have to do them on the grid qualifying server. This server also runs a script which counts your tries and also shows how many tries you already used. This means only the times driven on this special server will count. You may practice on other servers like the normal grid servers, and if you think you're ready, then hop on the grid qualifying server and set your time. At the end of the grid qualifying, all drivers will be sorted depending on their lap time. Drivers who participate a certain amount of events in the last championship or were involved in the organization of the Cityliga will get a green card and therefore get a guaranteed grid slot even without a lap time. These drivers with green card and without a lap time will be added in the list behind the slowest of the grid qualifying. This list of drivers have a guaranteed grid slot for the first 3 events. Drivers without green card and without a lap time get on the waiting list and have not a guaranteed grid slot. Depending on the number of drivers with a guaranteed grid slot, the number and size of the grids will be decided. This usually happens in a way that a reasonable grid size with usually more than 20 drivers will be created. With the Cityliga Championship 20, the promotion-relegation system was changed fundamental. In general, the promotion-relegation system should make it possible to get into faster grids because there will be more points to get. To better understand the new system, you should know the aspects of the system that the Cityliga organizers wish to achieve. First, the top 10 of the driver ranking should always stay in Grid 1. It should be possible to get into Grid 1 very quick, even as a driver joining mid-season. Inactive drivers should get out of the grids as fast as possible. But you shouldn't be relegated more than one grid. If you keep these aspects in mind, you are going to understand the following promotion-relegation system way better. First of all, there will be multiple grid qualifyings over the championship. For this, the 10 events will be split into groups of 3 and the final event. In advance of these groups, there will be a grid qualifying each which decides the division of the grids for the 3 events of that group and the final event. The combo for this grid qualifying are each the first combo of the group. For the first group, the grid qualifying works like I already explained. After the 3rd event, the next grid qualifying and therefore the first chance of promotion and relegation happens. In this case, the combo for the grid qualifying would be the same as event 4. This again means that you got your 10 tries for the lap time on the grid qualifying server. The grid qualifying goes from Tuesday after the last event of the last group until Friday before the first event of the next group. After this grid qualifying, the new division of grids will be decided. At this point, you got besides the list of all signed up drivers the following informations. First, the driver rankings with the top 10 in which the drop results will also be considered. Then the grid division of the last group of events, so you know who can relegate how far. And of course the list of lap times from the grid qualifying, again sorted depending on time. Now you do as follows. Usually the number of active drivers will differ during the championship, so first you have to count the number of still active drivers and decide the grid size or even the number of grids accordingly. Active drivers are the top 10 of the driver ranking, so they theoretically must not participate in the grid qualifying. Also active are drivers who got a lap time in the grid qualifying. Drivers without a lap time in the grid qualifying but who participate in 2 of the 3 events in the previous group are also active drivers and are added at the bottom of the list. So all drivers without a lap time in the grid qualifying and who participate in none or only one event in the previous group are dropped out and get on the waiting list. With the number of active drivers, the amount and size of the grids will be decided. If this is definitive, the drivers will be filled into the grids from the top as follows. In Grid 1, the top 10 of the driver ranking are set. The remaining slots are filled up with drivers from the timing list accordingly to their lap times until Grid 1 is full. Now Grid 2 will be filled. First are all drivers set for Grid 2 who didn't qualify for Grid 1 with their lap time but were in Grid 1 the previous group. The remaining slots in Grid 2 are again filled with drivers from the timing list until Grid 2 is full. For each additional grid, you analogists do the same. So first are the drivers set who couldn't qualify for their previous grid, and the remaining slots are filled with drivers from the timing list. The drivers who are filled into the grids this way have a guaranteed grid slot for the next 3 events in their corresponding grids. Drivers who are not filled into the grids and therefore without a guaranteed grid slot get on the waiting list and can participate in an event in the lowest grid if there are enough free slots on the grid server. The grid division will be announced the Saturday before the event, so everyone should know early enough where to drive on Monday. This was the FAQ video for the grid qualifying and the promotion-relegation system. Now you can click on the left side to get back into the overview in the main FAQ video, or click on the right side to get to the next FAQ video where the Cityliga homepage is explained.